Hello, good morning to the live people, and hello everybody that's watching Tarot Time as a video. And we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to dive into some messages I got around the Trump inauguration in just a few minutes. There's been a TikTok ban, in case you guys didn't realize that. So TikTok is banned. So is CapCut, which I use for editing my shorts. So that's a little inconvenient. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Last week we in Tarot Time we kind of showed a little bit of a calmer week, sort of a calm before the storm, but that ended. So the energy is really ramping up. We're just starting Aquarian season, so the sun's moving into Aquarius, and everything's coming to the surface. Everything's happening kind of right on schedule based on my January forecast, my 2025 forecast, and other people's forecasts also. So anyway, if you're watching this as a video, we're going to start in just a minute. I'd like to give the live people just a minute to get their notifications and just say a few quick hellos. A lot of my video friends have to find, I have to find new ways to edit too, because I use CapCut for my shorts. That's more okay, so here's some news. Hi, Mr. Floyd. So the hostages have been released, so that's really good news. So it's not all doom and gloom, right? That's really good stuff. So hello, Mr. Floyd. Hello, Truth Wave Energy Meditation. Welcome. Hello, Suzette, Laura, Millie, Heen. Again, Josh from Mr. Floyd's universe. Hi, Claire, Millie, Lisa, Roseanne. Oh boy. All right. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Lisa. Okay. Wow, you've had a hi, Karen. I'm only a couple minutes late, boy. Hi, Ben Bacon Bits. But you guys have wow, you've been having a lively conversation. So one of the cool things that we like to do in Tarot Time, it's kind of like a weekly community hangout. So we get to sort of, as a group discuss things. A lot's changing, and we do have such a beautiful family. Hello. Oh, wow. Hi, Mary. Thanks for catching us live. Hello, Sharon. And hello to all the crew. Yeah. Hello, Stephanie. Very good. All right. So I got a little bit of channeled, semi-channeled information about the inauguration, specifically that it got moved indoors, right? So I wanted to ask about that, because it's like, all right, it's going to be cold. I get it. Low 20s, mid 20s. But that's not super cold. And I think it's similar to the temperatures of one of the JFK inauguration. The only inauguration that got moved inside because of the cold was Ronald Reagan's, and it was 7 degrees. It's supposed to be 24 degrees at the time. So I kind of went in a little bit, and I just got very quickly, very generally speaking, it's not the weather, it's security reasons. That there was some intel about some planned, not a January 6th style insurgents or anything like that, but some planned demonstration or violence. They weren't saying so much about an assassination attempt. Apparently that actually happened at the Jimmy Carter funeral, although that wasn't publicized, at least from, you don't even know what you can believe anymore, but from sources that I think I can trust, I heard that. But anyway, so that was basically that. There was something else about that. I think they had to move locations also. So there's a little bit of craziness around that. So what are you guys saying here? Hello, welcome. Hi, Brooke. Safety issues, somebody was saying. Hello, Christina Day. Welcome. Things of that nature. Yeah, safety issues and stuff like that. So also, hello, Anne. So also, TikTok is now banned. You guys that have YouTube channels, I've got a lot to talk about, so I'm not going to do like individual shout outs, but you know, a lot of you on here have your own channels. This might be a good time to do some extra shorts because people are not going to be able, at least in the USA, people are not going to be able to go on TikTok anymore, and they're going to still want to consume short form videos. So post a few extra shorts the next couple of weeks. Personally, I'm thinking 2 to 3 weeks with that. And I remember I think it was 2020 that Trump wanted to ban TikTok because of some security issues with China or something like that. Then in 2021, the Biden administration overturned that, but now it's banned again. And it's interesting and I wouldn't say ironic, but kind of, what's the right word? Serendipitous, maybe, that now in the 2.0 or I should say the number 47 version of Donald Trump versus the number 45 version, yeah, wanted to avoid that. So there was that. So anyway, we're hearing a lot now. Before I go into the tarot, we're going to look into the inauguration and some possible hiccups with that through tarot also. But a couple things that they came to my mind, I had to jot them down in my notes also. But I have to say, when it comes to the new administration that's due to start on Martin Luther King Day, which is interesting because Martin Luther King is about civil rights and freedom. um my message is actions speak louder than words. Like, we've been hearing a lot of rhetoric, we've been hearing a lot of campaign promises. A lot of people are very much on board with the Trump agenda, feeling like he's going to be the big freedom fighter and everything to that nature. Banned from being Oh, wait. I have to get back to your comments. You guys are firing at the comments. I can't keep up with you. But anyway, actions speak louder than words. Like I'm hearing a lot of rhetoric from like Robert Kennedy Jr. People think he's an anti-vaxxer, but then he's publicly saying, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm anti. Yeah, like his thing was more like we should be able to choose, what we put into our body. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that. But the point being, I'm seeing a lot of kind of back and forth stuff with a lot of them. But anyway, to the point that I want to make, let me grab some water and let me grab some water. I'm kind of keeping an eye on your comments also, which are very interesting. So, a lot of people are looking at this new administration to be kind of like our saviors, basically. And I'm not saying that's wrong. So we're not going on any pro-Trump, anti-Trump soapboxes here, just to be clear about that. I have all along, and I maintain the perspective of that there's really only one party. There's two sides to one party. That it's all set up to divide and conquer, to get people fighting against each other rather than coming together as a global community to fight what the real enemy is, and that's those forces that are restricting our freedom and our power. So on that note, keep in mind that as Donald Trump comes into office, assuming that in the next 24 hours that doesn't change, look who's in the cabinet. There's a lot of very rich and powerful people, right? Elon Musk, and look at the patterns also. Like, the patterns that I'm seeing could be something around the New World Order also. If you kind of see what's going on and connect the dots, how this is all happening. And we know that the very rich and powerful are connected to the cabal, are connected to deep state. There's a very interesting movie that came out about 15 years ago, was it, when Thrive came out? And other people have been talking about the five ruling families, like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, and how an elite few really run the world. and that what we see in politics is really a show, and what goes on beneath the show is very different. Our supposed enemies may be our friends, our supposed friends may be enemies. What goes on behind closed doors? The U.S. presidential inauguration is a huge show, just like things that go on with the royal family, and it's all really to divert our attention from what's going on. There's something called Agenda 2030, which is an agenda to centralize the power, basically. Now, I did a brief video, explaining the difference between unification of power, where you basically there's a world community, there's a government, but there's also power for the people, versus centralized. So centralized, you give the power to just a minute few, those that control everything, that control the money, basically. Whereas the unified is that everybody contributes. So the power is like unified amongst different countries or whatever. So we kind of see like things going on, like wanting to sort of not take over, but to influence Canada and Mexico, to take over Greenland from Denmark or whatever that is. Good luck with that. I mean, besides what's being said, that a lot of gold is being discovered in Greenland, and there's other reasons for it. Then I'm not going to go into too much detail. But in any event, yeah, and then there's the LA fires, which I'm seeing Felicia's comment also. So there's the LA fires as well, and I'll talk about that in a second too. So the thing is to remember that the very rich and powerful are kind of taking over the country. They're cabinet members, and of course Donald Trump is one of the rich and elite also, and yet he's an outlier. I get it, and again, I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong, and I'm not trying to dissuade anybody that supports him. I just feel like we need to kind of take the big picture into account, see what circumstantially is happening, how these forces, or I'll put it this way: one of the ways that the New World Order is likely to get going is firstly creating I don't want to say fictitious, but drawing the lines in the sand and sort of dividing the world, sort of heading toward a World War III agenda, basically, and also that need more water. There's just so much. The corrupt bloodline. Thank you, Lindsay. I'm just looking at your comments also. So kind of seeing these patterns where oh gosh, I can't keep my thoughts together this morning. Let me see what I wrote in my notes. We know who controls the money. It's basically is Trump about freedom, or is he part of the New World Order, as some of the patterning suggests? And one of the ways the New World Order comes together is through AI. It's through these like smart cities. It's through these connecting through these new technologies and everything, like that, basically. And so we see a lot of these things going on now with the Maui, with the LA fires. And by the way, when I looked into that, I would see more of an arson situation than a DEW, than a do attack. Although that's the prevailing conspiracy theory that may become a conspiracy fact before long, that it was another direct energy weapons attack. But I was being shown like people starting fires, actually. So it's kind of unusual. But when I asked about that, they were saying it's more like covering up evidence, basically, about something, maybe about the child trafficking or the involvement of Hollywood in some of the agendas to centralize power for the deep state or the cabal. The thing is, it's all going to come out. And the bottom line is that for us, we want to be open-minded about what's happening. So whether you're for him or against him, remain open-minded, but remain vigilant. I think people are going to be a little bit disillusioned when they see what goes on in the next few weeks and how things start to happen. So let me just, I'm peeking my notes again, and then I'm going to go to your comments for a second. We know controls the money. So again, who controls, the money controls the world basically. So rich and powerful people are coming. So the world order pattern. Yeah, keep an open mind, yet remain highly vigilant. Either way, so I'm going to cut to the chase now. Either way, it's just a different path, but this is about awakening. This is about freedom. So, say that Donald Trump really does have like all these ideas about exposing all the corruption in the world, having the armies behind him, reforming everything, or if he's actually part of the corruption and a player in this new world order agenda. Either way, it's going to expose the truth. It's going to lead to freedom. So the idea is we want to be in our hearts. We want to stay in our power, not to be programmed so much by what's going on. And a lot of it's fear-based. So, every time something happened and you have an emotional reaction, try to step back into your heart, step back into your power. Hearts can't be programmed. Hearts only love. But when we get all this information and our brains start to process it, it affects our heart's coherence. It takes our heart out of coherence. And that's when fear, dread, and all those emotions come up. And then the heart's out of coherence. Hearts are coherent when they feel love. So remember that also. So either way, I'm just not sure what path it's going to go on, but either way, this is the awakening. This is the coming of the golden age. This is the new earth. And this has to happen. So stay in your power, stay focused, stay and stay in your heart, basically. So as always, spirit always says, spirit. I was asking spirit, so what? They're saying, just trust the process. That's what they always do. We're in control. Just trust the process, even if things seem like they're getting really crazy. Just trust the process. A lot of people are very scared about what's coming up here in the U.S. A lot of people are very scared of the Trump agenda. A lot of people are. So try to remember that. Trust the process. This is all part of an unveiling of a lot of corruption that's been affecting our world for a very, very long time. That's really coming to a head. More people are awakening, and that's basically shifting the balance of power. Those in charge and control are having to really change their agendas on the fly and really throw new things out at us, basically. And the idea is the more what we can do is raise our consciousness. So this is the time to really dive deep into your spiritual practices, double down on that presence work, heart brain coherence work, because the more we can raise our consciousness and help others, the more smoothly we're going to transition into this new earth, the less the opposition is going to cause chaos and conflict in the world, and the less people that have to suffer. That's the main message with that. So anyway, now I'm going to look at what you guys are saying here. How many projects from within? Thank you, Paula. Hello, Truth Wave. I pretty much just glean info from X, and it's more or less town square. You'll get all opinions on everything. Yeah, so X, look into that. Now, the TikTok ban, is that a Meta thing? Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. Google owns YouTube. If there's no TikTok, more people are going to be consuming YouTube Shorts and Reels on Facebook. I as I'm talking, I feel like Spirit saying it's a lot of it's political maneuvering, basically. So there's always that side to it. 56. So what are we saying here? I have to stick to my universe, stick to your universe. In my universe, it's about love. It's about awakening, and it's about easing the suffering of humanity, basically. So I'm sticking to my universe also. And that's interesting. You're related to Nixon. That's very interesting. We are the world. Thank you. Yes, a little good music. Very good. And thank you, Felicia. My timeline begins Tuesday. No, congratulations. You manifested it. Very good to hear. What is... You got a lot of, red die number 3. Yeah, a lot. There's a lot going on. And again, I'm saying I'm keeping, in my power, basically. And Jody saying it is arson. DW mostly progressive management and government greed and lots of money. Yeah, follow the money, follow the corrupt flow of power, right? That's good. I only see God. Good for you. That's the idea. Um, hello, Pauline. All right. So hello, Fallon. We'll see what your comment says. Needs the rare minerals. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to get to that. There's a lot of rare minerals. There's gold. The global warming that some people deny, it's melting the glaciers and exposing huge expanse of gold. And people are currently like buying shares in Greenland now to mine. Agenda taking out Greenland. Yeah, so a lot of these agendas, it's kind of dividing the world again and creating sides. It's I feel like that's part of the 2030 agenda, but then there's the Project Bluebeam. It's like when the world's this is a possibility. I think we're going to awaken too fast for this to happen. But a possibility is when the world's at the brink of war, all of a sudden there's dangerous UFOs. We have to, us Earthlings have to resolve our differences now and come together in unity to fight a bigger enemy. And we have to trust the world government and the new world order and everything. So yeah. So very good. You guys are, thank you for sending me clarity. Yeah, I have to do that a lot because there's a lot of energetic, forces that are trying to prevent people like me from, speaking up about that. So anyway, I never really used TikTok either. But yeah, I do too. Yeah, a lot of people are making money on TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to trust them. Again, these are the very rich and powerful. Yeah, and there's a lot of programming on both sides of the political spectrum, whether you're right wing, left wing, whatever it is. There's programming designed for you, and it's designed to hijack your emotions, to get you separate you from your heart, separate you from spirit, and all that kind of good stuff, so you're more easily controlled. So that's why I'm saying, I think a lot of people are going to get disillusioned, that are seeing, what's coming in a certain way. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that it's wrong, and I'm not saying that I'm against the Trump agenda or anything like that. I mean, truth be told, I don't know enough about it to really have an informed opinion, and I don't think most of us do either. I think a lot of us rely on our intuition and what we're hearing from the news and from other sources, basically. So I think this is why when we're in our heart and we're in the center, then we can trust our intuition more. My intuition says there's an agenda there. I feel like there's also part of it is for liberation. But I feel like that. And so Millie likes TikTok. Yeah. Somebody was talking about one of your videos, like one of your videos on YouTube was banned or demonetized for just singing bowls. I kind of missed that part. I think 2 to 3 weeks. I could have my timing off, but I think it'll be back. If I can get back to that comment. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, I think so also. Melissa doesn't like it. Okay. All right, so let's do some tarot stuff also. We'll keep talking about this as we move on, but I like to just start out with our meditation card. Where are my tarot cards? That might help if I'm going to do tarot readings. To having my tarot cards might actually help. Here they are. Oh boy. So we're really, here we're about spiritual awakening. We're about freedom. Freedom starts from within, basically. And freedom starts by aligning the frequencies of the heart. Once the heart becomes open into the coherence, the brain and the heart become blended because they're part of the same. So that's really what we are here for, is to assist in the awakening process. And some of it will involve what's going on in the world, right? And politics will be a part of it because it affects us. But it's all just a process. So that's why we are here. So with our meditation card, this will be for our week. Some energy that we can work on during the week. Then we'll do a 3-card spread and talk a little bit more about some of this stuff. And if there's any other topics, that you guys want to come in. Oh, by the way, Tuesday at 7, I'm going to be doing some work with the master teachers right here on the medium channels. We're going to do free group healing, basically. And this is the group that I channel. They're interdimensional beings of light, for those of you that are new. And what they're going to do is they're going to, through direct energy as well as voice transmission, they're going to transmit through me interdimensional frequencies that'll help your higher healing potentials awaken dormant DNA strands for your higher healing abilities to kick in. That's going to help you with whatever's going on health-wise. Also, so we're going to do that on Tuesday. I was just the other night, I was meditating. They told me to do that. I'm also going to offer private sessions for that. So for a lot of you do our transmissions. It's really energetic. So they activate my fields. They transmit the frequencies through me. It activates your auric fields. Once your energy flows reach a certain velocity and a certain velocity and frequency, it triggers DNA awakenings, and it triggers awakenings of higher potential. And we have the ability to heal so much more than what we're aware of in our current state of mass evolution. We'll put it that way. Some people have transcended that and have already awakened those higher healing abilities, and have had miracle healings as a result. So anyway, so yeah, a lot with social media, a lot of banning. I'm hearing a lot of people on YouTube having problems with demonetization and videos getting taken down and such. So it's like, in a way, we're seeing like less censorship. Like that's another story about Zuckerberg and Facebook eliminating the so-called fact checking or whatever. But then it's almost in a way that they're directing energy and attention one way, and then there's creating censorship in a different way. So there's a lot of what we call tricknology, the art of tricking people, basically. And I've been studying this since the 70s. I'm one of the original conspiracy theorists, I have to say. So anyway, meditation card for the week. Let me clear my mind a second. Okay. We got the world. We are the world. Be perfect card to meditate on. That's one of the completion cards in tarot. So the way we meditate with tarot, you get very relaxed, present, open. So present, you're not a name, you're not a body, your energy, your frequency, your spirit. So once you get present, feeling your shoulders relaxed, feeling your heart open, feeling your mind open, then in your mind, just step into the card and just gauge what you feel. Don't think about it. As soon as you step into the card, what are you feeling? And by doing that, you're starting to align with the energy, with the frequency to this particular tarot card and its message for you. And then you may see other images as you step into the card. What do you smell, hear, taste? What else do you see? And then you can just ask for messages. Because what is the world card? It's Saturn energy in tarot. It's about completion, and it is, things with the world. The whole world is changing. So you can ask for what when you step in for your meditations this week, ask, what you can do for your own spiritual awakening, for insights that you need to know about changes that are happening in the world, and things like that. So you can ask those types of questions of your guides when you step in. or things of that nature, basically. Oh yeah, thank you. The alignment is coming also. I may do a video tomorrow, like a quick video, because seven planetary alignment. I think 2 planets are conjunct, and then they're all kind of about what, like 90 to 135 degrees away. So you have 7 planets in a 180-degree arc, almost in a straight line, and the elliptical, the path of the sun and the planets take. So this is like an energetic magnifying glass. It's intensifying the frequencies. Right as we're stepping into the Aquarian, right when there's a whole changing of the guards in the Earth. We talked a lot about how the Earth axis is being activated by the nodes right around 0 degrees of Libra and Aries. That's the world axis, 0 degrees of the cardinal signs. And so that's a perfect one for that. And again, a lot of laws are changing, stuff like that. So let's jump into a 3-card spread now. So we'll see what Kathleen's saying. So need to meditate this coming Tuesday morning. Yeah, so one of the ways, it's easier said than done, and it takes a little practice of doing. But when you get present and you get present to the point you're not in they're saying to ground also, to do like some grounding, so root into the earth. When you get so present, you're not a name, you're not a body, your energy and your frequency, all that physical world stuff starts to dissolve, because you start to step into your higher power. No matter what time it is, it's always now. And wherever you are, you're always here. And you transcend the sources of that anxiety. They want us to feel anxious because we're not in our power, easily controlled when we're anxious. And then once you're present, then you feel grateful. That's how you do heart coherence. Gratitude, appreciation, compassion, love. Feel that in your heart. What you feel in your heart, feel in your brain, feel in your whole body. Feel that extending to spirit. And that's what I call heart, brain, spirit coherence. And once you're aligned, and with practice, you'll transcend that. So anyway, 3-card spread. Yes. Yeah, hugging trees, that's good. Thank you, Felicia, for that. Very good. Yeah, collapses are followed by rebuilds. So we are in the tower experience, and the phoenix will rise. Like I said, this is about our freedom and awakening, and about changes and reforms in the world, about the deep state and the agendas being exposed. I'm just not sure the trajectory, so I'm keeping an open mind. Like I said, I don't know enough. I don't have enough information to know exactly who Donald Trump is, or I should say, the forces behind him. If that's really about our freedom, or if it's a different type of control, right? Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Is it that, or is it really like something new? But again, at the risk of being repetitive, remember, a lot of rich and powerful people that are very likely connected to the cabal and deep state, because they control the money. Elon Musk is the wealthiest man in the world right now, if I'm not mistaken. Where does that money come from? Who controls that money? Who controls Musk? Who controls all that's going on? What is Agenda 2030? And how's that playing out now in real time with this new presidency? Or is this a figure that's bucking the system completely? We'll find out soon enough, but stay open with that. And recognize there's a lot with these far right and far left. There's a lot of programming. I felt it right at the beginning. I felt it, and I was trying to caution people about it. But in any event, it's all happening for our ultimate freedom. And at the end of the day, I do believe that those that are coming in, at least some of them, do want positive changes for us and all that. So again, stay open-minded, stay in the heart. tapping is also a very effective way for panic attacks. Do your tapping, do your heart coherence, your presence. That'll help. Exactly. Only universe knows. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. Because I actually I'd read somewhere recently that they're saying that Musk was like the first trillionaire, not Putin. But that's very interesting. Interesting dream. Yeah, I'm looking at your comments. All right. Did anybody, if you guys have YouTube channels you want to share with our community, please in the comments do so. Let me clear my mind a second. All right, I have to clear my mind. Wait, hold on. Let's dance. Thank you, Millie. All right. 1, 2, and 3. So we do a little 3 card spread. We have Knight of Wands reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed, which is very similar to the World card, by the way. 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Firstly, a lot of changes, obviously. A lot of panic in the streets, obviously. A lot of shuffling with the inauguration. So, that's Monday. There's Martin Luther King's birthday celebration, so there's parades for that. It just happens to be on the 20th this year because that's the Monday. Interesting, that it all overlaps. So there may be some last minute changes that come up, things like that. I feel like there's some kind of either a threat or an assassination attempt or a bomb threat. We may never hear about that, and one of the things that I talked about months ago, but as part of the 2025 forecast, the January forecast, the winter forecast, that Trump number 47 version of Trump's going to be very different than number 45, and that action is going to be very swift and very decisive. This was before all the news came up and all the pre-inauguration changes that have been very swift and decisive came up. They're saying that what went on in LA right before the inauguration, the timing's not an accident or coincidence. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know that. These are opinions, by the way. I'm not stating anything is fact. It's said, I don't know what's going on. I get information, I pass it on to you guys. And if anybody knows better, you're welcome to chat that. You're welcome to do that. If I say something that's not correct, please correct me. I don't know everything. God, what if I did know everything? I would never learn a darn thing if I knew everything, right? So every morning I try to prepare an empty like a blank slate for the day's lessons to write upon. So I try to stay out of that. It almost feels like somebody dropping out unexpectedly. Not Trump or anything, but it could be like a very early change in one of the cabinet members or one of his supporters or something like that. Almost feels like there may be some attack abroad or something like that. I mean, the hostages are being released. There seems to be a ceasefire developing. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. There's a couple of other predictions that are coming true for January. I can't remember what it is right now. But a lot of changes to the economy. One thing that may not come true, or may change. Timelines are fluid. Is we were predicting either an economic crash or a shift around the beginning of February. I mean, frankly, I'm not seeing that so much in these cards right now, but I think some changes are going to happen. Yeah, I think people keep an eye, yeah, that are invested in crypto, that making me feel like something may crash or change around that. And some of the agendas behind crypto may come out also. I want to dive into that. If I, as soon as I have time, I'm going to dive down that rabbit hole. It's maybe something you may want to invest in. Also, to be careful because there's an agenda to centralize currency also by centralizing power. One of the ways of doing that is digitalizing it and having stricter controls over that. So what is crypto? It's digital currency, right? So be mindful of that aspect of it also. If they do indeed proceed into more of a quantum financial system, then that would mean that cryptos would have to be backed by something, whether it's gold or something tangible related to wealth. But the Nine of Pentacles is good. It makes me feel like once we get through like the uncertainties and the stresses, I think there's going to be a little bit of assurance that, all right, even if you're against Donald Trump, all right, it is what it is. There's some voices of reasons out there, or something that's balancing things. I think we may get, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be spoken on very early on, the first couple of days of the presidency, where we get a little bit of reassurance, if you want to call it that. We have to keep in mind that they all lie. That's why I say in the beginning, actions speak louder than words. I want to see how these things start to play out before I make any judgments based, about my life and what I want to teach or share with you guys. Because the actions speak loud. They can make all kinds of campaign promises. See what comes up. As I'm saying that, I'm hearing that Trump does aim to keep at least some of these campaign promises. But we've already seen some changes in that. So think of that. That's an interesting question about gold. Yeah. Um, if a lot of gold found in green, it could. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that would work. So so a lot of lake effects snow by the lake. Yeah. Hogan's Heroes, Mikhail's. Oh, what are you guys saying? You guys have a lot of funny stuff going on. Hi, Victor. I don't know. Oh, is that Heat? Oh, who's Victor? Hi, Tanya. Welcome. Um, and Tanya's saying something big is happening. That's why TT is shut down to hide the dissemination. Yeah. Thank you. I was going to get to that a little bit. Thank you for that. Trump created a new crypto coin. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Modern Love. Yeah. I love Bowie also. Love The Man That Ruled the World. What's that? The one that Kurt Cobain covered. Um and yeah. A lot of that's about shipping. God, I wish I gotta write these things down because I got a message about what's behind Greenland and I can't freaking remember it. I mean, it's strategic. I get that. There's a lot of shipping. There's something else. I hope it comes through. And what Truthway is saying, it'll be interesting as our vibrations increase, how much our world will change. So many things we deem important will go away. Yeah. Oh, so that's Victor. Okay, thank you for sharing that. It's Truthway. I mean, thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah, like I said, share if you got YouTube channels, if you do group meditation or stuff like that. We're all community. We're all working together because everything's changing. The idea is for us to wind up being more in a kind of like a global unity rather than all this divide and conquer and separation. It's part of the elevation. The wheel of fortune, the wheel's turning. The wheel of consciousness is also turning. And I feel like this is saying we've got to feel more safe in our bodies. We've got to know the one that created us is going to take care of us and protect us through all these changes. And that's why, when I was asking for more information, Spirit would just say, trust the process. We're in control. You're going to be okay. We may see things we don't understand. It may be challenging. The idea is to raise our consciousness, to work to help others to raise their consciousness. Then the suffering reduces as the changes come. It doesn't have to be so ugly. It doesn't have to be so much war, so much conflict, and so much control over others. Once we awaken more, it changes the trajectory. It changes the agendas of the deep state, because it has to, basically. So anyway, the conscious crew. Thank you, conscious crew. Telepathy tapes, interesting. All right, so let me. I've got other divination tools here, other oracle cards and whatnot. And this is the Native American tarot. Yeah, it's partly, Greenland is strategic. That's part of it. Yeah. Chief of Vessels, that's like the King of Cups, I believe, in the regular tarot. And it's kind of like, in a way, he's kind of like looking at the side. There's birds. I'll turn this around in a second. He's kind of on a crew, kind of going down the rapids, but he's being guided. Water can represent emotions and feelings as well. And I just think part of this is just kind of like a message that things are gonna flow as they're gonna flow. So what is this mystery boom? Let's say not explosion or earthquake, but shook everything up to from Manila, Arkansas. Wow, interesting. One of the things that I predicted for a while, well, I predicted a long time ago, back in June, there'd be an earthquake in California in December, and there was. It was the worst one in 6 years. But then they were making me feel there's a bigger one in January or February, farther south. I mean, maybe I was cross-referencing psychic information. I was really seeing the fires and not an earthquake. That's a so-called natural disaster. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, I guess. But yeah, again, it's sort of like he's sort of looking to the side. He's not so much looking as much where he's going. He's kind of trusting in the flow. And I think that's the message, to connect with the flow, trust in the flow, and things should be okay, or things should go on. It's unexplainable. Yeah, apparently, Trump is supposed to talk about the drones also, what they're really about. And they're rolling back on the deportation already. They know they will never get the funds. Yeah, hola, Lorenzo, welcome. All right, yeah, there's just so much. And again, the message: stay in our hearts, stay in our power. So I've got one of Kyle Gray's decks, Divine Masters Oracle here. When before that happened, before any of this came out, and they were talking about some of the earthquakes too. That there's really activity going on underground. There's a lot of kind of attack of the alleged tunnels where human trafficking takes place underground and activities underground. So I think that some of that. I mean, it does seem like, again, I was saying in the beginning, to keep an open mind about things, and to just be mindful of the the choices of cabinet, how the very rich and most influential people in the world are now part of the U.S. government, including Donald Trump. And money's controlled by the powers that control the world, the deep state agenda. But it also seems like there are these movements towards exposing corruption, and towards reform, and towards creating more freedom. So it's almost like both of these things are kind of happening simultaneously as this change of the guard is happening. It's the Aquarian age now. It's the awakening. So yeah, we'll find out. And I think people are going to be very surprised when the truth comes out about this next administration, basically. So anyways, so I think of some of these booms are underground explosions that are happening. That's why the government is telling people to stop posting on it. They don't want all this stuff to get out. So anyhow, so from the Kyle Gray, so getting back to our, excuse me, dry fingers again. Saint Germain, hello, Mr. Floyd. Hello, Joshua. The violet flame, alchemy, release the old, make way for the new. Great message. This is the thing. Let all this stuff go. Everything that we think we know about Donald Trump, about the QAnon or MAGA, or everything we think we know about him being, the most despicable figure on the planet, the biggest narcissist in the world that just wants to rule the world with his buddy Elon Musk and Putin or whatever. Time to forget all that. You let it all go because it's all propaganda anyway. Usually the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle. We've seen that through history time and time and time and time again. It's time to let it all go. Work with the violet fire, work with Saint Germain to purge all of this programming and all this negativity that's being shot at us through all the things, closing TikTok down. It's to upset the people is the bottom line. And there's a political motivation to that. And everything that happened, they're also making me feel like a lot of the LA stuff is diverting attention away from what's going on in China. They're showing a lot of activity in China. I don't know exactly what that activity is, but a lot of the decisions that are going to affect the entire world are being made there. Again, remember, politics, it's a show. The royal family, it's all a show to divert our attention. Behind the show, there's only one party. This is my opinion. I have to say that because it's true. Based on my research, what I've channeled, but there's only one party, and the division is there to help to keep the people weak, so nothing really gets done. So the same forces control everything over and over and over again. Saint Germain, if I'm channeling Saint Germain now, is saying we've got to let that go. We've got to find unity again, and working with the violet fire will help protect us from all this negative propaganda and the frequency programming. And LA, this is a possible reason, when you're addressing conspiracies, whether they're theories or actual facts, you follow the money. Basically, is there a reason? Was there a reason for there to use sophisticated weather modification, instruments that can change the atmospheric condition in the upper atmosphere to steer storms in the surface and drive weather systems? Was there an agenda with the hurricanes in the Carolinas? Did BlackRock, Vanguard buy up all that land? Did what happened in LA with the reservoirs and the canceling of fire insurance months before, does that figure into something? Who would gain and why? That's what we need to know. Who gets more powerful as a result of this? Same thing in Maui. Now, a possibility, just a possibility, is they want the smart cities. This is and using AI to digitalize everything. What a great way to continue the New World Order agenda, to centralize power to a single governing entity that controls everything, including the money. Using fire and other means to level structures makes it a lot easier to rebuild and to make smart cities, right? It's just a theory. I'm not saying it's true or not, but Saint Germain is saying, it's good to be aware. It's not saying to stick our heads in the sand. We have to be aware of what's going on out there. We have to be spiritual warriors. I do believe Saint Germain is a spiritual warrior, and what warriors do is we assess our playing field and we come up with strategies. we don't allow ourselves to be programmed. We don't allow ourselves to be weakened by other people. If we need to defend ourselves and our family, we do it. But our driving force is love and unity and wanting peace. Basically, that's, to me, is true spiritual warriorship. But we have to understand we live in a world of conflict, and we can be threatened, and it's a reflection on what's going on in the cosmos. That they're apparently, from my guidance and what I've heard from others, that there's been interplanetary wars going on, and what's going on Earth is a reflection of that. And there's a battle for planet Earth because we are the species that are awakening. We have so many resources on this planet, and we have so many human resources based on our energies and our emotions that can be tapped into and used to energize other things, right? So, one of the theories is people, I hate to say this, but the people, including children, being tortured and terrorized, to tap that energy to power things, basically, that other entities from other planets may be controlled. I know that sounds very woo-woo and very out there, but we have to consider all possibilities. But with that, be aware, be a spiritual warrior. It's like, okay, it's like I just woke up this morning. CapCut just got taken down because it's part of TikTok. That's what I use to edit my short. All right, I need a new strategy to edit my shorts. Basically, a good strategy for you YouTubers is to make more shorts, because TikTok users in the United States are still going to want to watch short form videos. We have that on YouTube, right? So anyway, violet flame, alchemy, changing energetic lead into gold. That's what we do. We're alchemists. Throw us lemons, we make lemonade. That's spiritual alchemy, basically. Transmute the lower into the higher. What's going on in a week and a week? We go into the year of the snake. It's the Lunar New Year. What do snakes do? They transmute poison into medicine. All this toxic energy in the world could be our medicine for liberation, freedom, and ascension, basically. Snake venom is a medicine if it's used in a certain way, or a deadly poison if it's used in another way. And it's also shedding of old skins. So anyways, thank you. Yeah, thank you, True Way. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I know I'm missing a lot of your comments. A lot. You guys are saying some amazing things. And this seems like a good comment. And realize everything you see is biased towards your belief. That's how the programming works. Biased towards your belief. Hijack your emotions. Make them think they're your emotion, but that's the programming. It's the survival-based emotions. It's kind of like, in a way, what does that do? It's like, if I'm programmed that way and you don't agree with me, my survival instinct makes me want to kill you, basically, to cut to the chase. I won't do it because of the because of other things. But anyway, good comment there. So anyway, and that's why we see the separation and the division to same feed, different comments based on your particular algorithm. Yes. What is the algorithm for? Very good. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Or a quantum leap. Yes, quantum leap. I love Project Fear. Project Fear. Very good. Yes. Good comments, guys. Thanks for being part of Tarot Time and helping us to share all this amazing stuff. Oftentimes we actually decide things with our mammalian brain, and we justify with our neocortex. Thank you for a little science to add to the mix there. Very good. All right. We've got more. We've got a lot more. I've got the Starseed Oracle deck, so let's get a message from that. We're all Starseeds, right? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's because of Spirit, but thank you for that anyway. And thanks to Spirit, I got out of my comfort zone to do this, which took a lot. Trust me. I practiced what I preach. I did full on reprogramming so that I could function in front of a camera on YouTube, because I couldn't do that before. and also be able to function with a lot of negative comments and pushback and all that, and to kind of get out of. I mean, it's good to be empathic, but not to a detriment. So those of you that are empaths, do the shadow integration work, because sometimes empathness is what's the right word, is magnified, a different word I'm using, through our childhood shadows, and the need to be more intuitive to gauge what's going on with the grown-ups so that we feel safe. But anyway, point being is that when we're very grounded, we can still feel, but we don't have to be overwhelmed by our feelings. So it's a very valuable lesson to me to be able to face being uncomfortable. It's like, I don't want to deal with certain people. Like I was a big people pleaser, because it's easier to just say yes than to feel people's disapproving and negative energies, because it made me feel uncomfortable. It literally made me sick. So I learned how to ground. I learned how to strengthen my shield, or my frame, so to speak, without sacrificing my sensitivity, and accepting discomfort, not letting it be a negative thing, but accepting it is just part of the process. And to me, that's been hugely empowering. So, oh yeah, thank you. Please like, subscribe. We're going to do a lot of good things. Tuesday, we're going to do some frequency healing, some group healing. You can watch that live. Oh gosh, I don't know if Josh is doing a live then, or anybody else, but if so, you can catch me on the replay. It'll still have the same power, but I love it when you guys come in live. So Tuesday, 7 Eastern time, frequency activation to help you to awaken your higher healing potentials. And so a few people that come onto these, they're going to have miracles, and I want to hear about it afterward, because that's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. I'm there with you, Alicia. So from the Starseed Oracle deck, thanks to Rebecca Campbell and artwork by Danielle Noel, we got this deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy. Well, I'm an Arcturian starseed. How appropriate. Physical and emotional healing. That's part of the transmutation. Work with Saint Germain. Do I still have that card out? Work with the violet fire. All right, just lick my fingers or on camera. I'm thinking of a Jethro Tull song from War Child, which is probably my least favorite Jethro Tull album from that era, but it's still good. Jethro Tull to me is pure ear candy. But there's a song called Two Fingers, and the line is, "You better lick two fingers clean before you shake his hand," or something screwy like that. But anyway, Saint Germain, the violet fire, transmutation, deep cellular healing. This is the violet fire will assist you in your deep cellular healing. The programming, yes, affects our cells. Our cells are changing. They're changing from more what's the right word? More linear to more crystalline in form. Within the cells and within the atoms. But this programming affects our cellular reproduction. It suppresses the energies available from every cell. It affects our ability to access the God code that exists within every single cell. So when you work with this violet fire and you transmute that, and you clear the energies that are interfering, that are energetically creating kind of like a viscous slime in the cellular system, then the cells start to awaken. Every cell, 15 trillion cells, all carry knowledge. They're all alive. They all carry a story that's part of your story. It's so amazing. So work with that, and work with the violet fire, and that's going to help with your physical healing as well as your emotional healing. And work with the master teachers on Tuesday also. That's going to help as well. Exactly. Yes. As spirit helps me, I help you. That's the way it works. The only thing I can take credit for is being open and doing my work, doing my meditation, doing my daily work, to be able to be a channel of this information. Everything else is spirit, nothing to do with me. Moonology. The Moonology cards. Let's get a quick message here. Yeah. It's a process. Every time I think, oh, I've got that. So then an uncomfortable situation comes back, and I can almost watch myself going back into those old patterns. They're telling me it's still mother wounding that I'm still working through. Once I finish that, then it's like I won't even have to think twice about it. It'd be like, no, I won't have to think twice about it. So anyways, all right, need a clear mind. There we go. Found my card, or found your card, I should say. Your commitment's being tested. Isn't that something? First quarter moon. Are we? No, we're in the last quarter, right? Or gibbous going into the last quarter now. So, okay, just be aware your commitment's going to be tested. Your resolve will be tested. That can be things going on in your personal life as well as in the world. So that's a cool message. I have the frequency of the week also. The last quarter-ish. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Every song on that album is great. Which song are we talking about? War Child? The one that's one of my least favorite of that era? Oh, Aqualung. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably if it wasn't so, if I hadn't heard it so many times, we like to talk about music around here also. Aqualung would probably be my favorite Jethro Tull album, but I've heard it so many times. I think Thick as a Brick gets that nod, but Benefit also. Benefit got terrible reviews when it came out, and it's about one of their best albums. So that whole era, Stand Up through Thick as a Brick, that's my favorite era of Jethro Tull. Then the Songs from the Wood was very good. Too Old to Rock and Roll. They went back to their older stuff. All is good. To me, Jethro Tull's pure ear candy. Anyway, I digress. I'm seeing garlic in my mind. Maybe that's a good additive for what's going on in your lives. We call that the stinking rose around here. The garlic. What else could garlic symbolize? It just showed me a big garlic clove in my mind. Merkaba, key 32. So maybe work with the Merkaba activation. Maybe we'll do that on Tuesday also. I think garlic is healing. Yeah. And I never got to see Jethro Tull. And they were actually at Bethel Woods last November, but I just didn't have it in me to go. I mean, I think they would have needed their walkers to get up on the stage. I'm just kidding, but I bet they still put on a good show. But I never got to see them. The frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purposes. So that's what the card looks like. So you can kind of get a sense of the Merkaba that way. And it's an ascension-like vehicle. So if we activate our Merkaba field, we can travel interdimensionally, into this or other universes or solar systems or whatever. So it's really an aspect of higher awakening, basically, also. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Too much color can mess with hormones. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Our light body vehicle, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes we do Merkaba activations here also as well. So, so that's a really good one. That's really part of higher consciousness. I mean, the underlying theme of the messages are, it's everything's going to be okay. No matter what happens, I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a really good idea of which way or what the focus on this, United States administration is, what the alliances are with the rest of the world. Again, I think they're all actors. I believe it's all a show, but we'll see. If yeah, love or hate him, if anybody can really buck the system and expose things, Donald Trump can. And as I've been saying for God, at least a decade now, um, love him or hate him, this is the figure that's going to expose the corruption and change the trajectory of the world. Whether it's through design or whether he is the corruption, we can debate that because different people have different ideas. But I still feel like that truth is holding, it's starting to play out. What's happening is we're entering, or we've entered into the heart of the earth changes, the heart of the changes of consciousness and frequency. It's happening now, and it's not always going to be easy. So again, do your Merkaba activations, do your heart brain coherence, do your meditation, be in the field of love, and raise your consciousness, because that's how we're going to get the best possible outcome in your life and in the world around us. Because what we hold as consciousness feeds the collective, basically. I got more here. Do we want another deck? We've got the Isis Oracles. Let's do a little bit of Egyptian magic now. We've entered into the Twilight Zone, yes. You're so humble and a nice guy. I got an email. Are we talking about Donald Trump, or is it somebody else? Maybe somebody else. It used to be so affordable. All right, yeah. Thank you, Millie, for that. So there's a little bit of a recommendation for you. You will not get an argument from me, Tanya. I was so bummed out when Neil Peart passed. Oh my God, that was so hard. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I got to see Rush in the early 90s, during the era where basically Neil Peart had a drum set the size of my living room. It was just, because I like to drum also. My eyes were peeled on him for that entire concert, with my mouth open and saying, I can't believe he's doing that. I can't believe he can do that. So him and Carl Palmer. There's so many great drummers. Bonham, of course. We digress into music regularly here. Stuart Copeland. Yeah, these are amongst the most amazing drummers I've ever got to experience. The Neil Peart, the professor. Yeah, when you take raw power, style, and technique, he's got to be in the at least in the argument for best drummer in the world. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's other drummers that I love, but Dennis Chambers, interesting. Yeah. Okay, what did we get here? Temple of Carnelian, interesting. I don't know who Carnelian, but entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. So sometimes we channel Sekhmet around here. We got two today. And we also got Cartouche, divine names of power. So maybe, I think one of the things is, using chanting, like Sanskrit or whatever divine chants of power that you use, Solfeggio frequencies, all these things can help us enhance our power, enhance our shield, to get us in the higher vibrations, the lower vibrations, so bring us down, basically, because that's what they want to do, bring us down, unleash all these agendas on the world, centralize the power, all that stuff. And Temple of Carnelia, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. Sekhmet's the lion goddess. She's from my channeling, a traveler from the Lyran system, from Vega, is it, where the feline people are, with feline faces and humanoid bodies. And in the first challenge, he said there were 12 of us. There were really 12 Sekhmets, and we were, considered gods, because extraterrestrials coming out of spaceships and having devices that could transform matter. And if you're, alive in 2000 BC, what are you going to think? You're going to think they're gods, right? So, so interesting messages there for sure. So So we just have a couple more because I know we're running way over. Yeah. Yeah, I love SecMed and energy, and I figured I'm also a part Lyran Starseed too, because as long as I can remember, which goes back to when I was like 2, 3, or 4, I was just insanely obsessed with cats, and when I got our first cat when I was 4 years old, it was just like the best thing that ever happened to me in my childhood. So something like that can be a clue if you're just really a cat person. That you may be a Lyran Starseed. Uh, Carnelian is also the Cancer birth zone. Good point. Yeah, bringing that out. And it's again, it's very sacral chakra energy. It's like that fiery red orange color. Um, and so that's part of the meaning of that card also. So work with your sacral chakra. What's going on? The programming is aimed to hijack your emotions. Whatever you feel directly affects your behavior. If you doubt me, think about the first time you had a crush on somebody, all the stupid damn things you do. I can remember myself waiting outside of somebody's house for 45 minutes before I freaking had the nerve to knock on her door. Okay. So I may have a lot of you beat, but whatever the case may be, understand that. And the emotions are connected to the sacral. So I feel like, then thanks, Josh, for your comment too, because I feel like they want us to work more with the sacral chakra. And if we build and we balance our sacral, then it's not as easy to hijack our emotion. And if you stay in your heart, which is the governing body, basically, your heart's the strongest of the chakras and the strongest of every of the body, and staying coherent through love and gratitude, then that's going to really help to balance all your chakras, including your sacral. So anyway, let's get our totem animal. Well, I'm seeing a monkey. I mean, monkeys can represent ego, although we're not going to see monkeys in the medicine card because this is only the wildlife of the Americas are included in this. But what else do monkeys represent? They're intelligent, they're dexterous, they're funny, right? They're clowns, they're tricksters like the coyote. That'd be another thing. I think, and I haven't really said this here or publicly for that matter, but I've been thinking it for a long time that Donald Trump is such a coyote. If you understand the legend of the coyote, that's Donald Trump. That's the trickster. But in the Native American legend, the trickster tricks us into learning and knowledge. So the trickster is really very wise. Often I think of Donald Trump as like Claudius Caesar, but without the intense cruelty. If I remember my Roman history, Claudius Caesar acted like he was, shall we say, special, um, in order to slip under the radar, in order for him to get assigned as the next Caesar, because they believed he could be easily controlled. And then once he got into power, oh my God, what a son of a bitch. Now, I'm not saying that that's Donald Trump, but I think he almost feigns being a fool. I mean, some of the things that he comes out with, and again, getting back to that, if you follow the steps, there's no way on heaven and earth that somebody with Donald Trump's track record and the things that he said and the things that he's done and the fact that he's convicted on 34 felony, whether they're legit or not, there's no way that he would be our next president. If you look at it logically, there's no way this would be happening the way things used to run. This is such an outlier. It's got to be that they wanted him in. There's just no other way. Think of the things he said, that he's done, all that stuff. Enough said, right? So anyway, so is there some underlying genius there? One of my big rants was during the last bout of California fires. He's suggesting that the California needs to go into the forest and clean up the deadwood in the forest. And I'm like, Donald, there's 170,000 acres of rugged woodland in California. You think of the Sierra Nevadas, it's like, you can use your own examples, but point being is that this couldn't happen unless there's another power making this happen, right? At least that's what I feel. All right. Anyway, totem animal of the week. By the way, you guys that came in late, we talked a lot more about this at the beginning of tarot time. So when we're done, you can go back to the beginning. All right. I'm narrowing in on this card. I'm seeing an otter. I get a raven. Raven's about magic. So this is the time to find your magic. This is, the ravens are black, so it's of the night. It's of the hidden, right? It's a mystery, basically. And they look a lot like crows, like giant crows, but they're actually different. They make different sounds and everything. So this is really about finding your magic, being able to find, I'll put it this way, once we can bring our heart, our mind into coherence, we tap into our power through visualization. I mean, some people literally do magic like Wicca or burning candles or stuff, but you can do this through intention and prayer also. But once you make it so real in your mind and your heart and you're grateful for it, that's when the transmutation happens. That's when alchemy happens, where your intention changes the quantums, like the subatomic energies that over time changes the macro and changes your reality. So the going deep within and understanding our shadows, that our shadows could be our greatest teachers, and understanding that once we're able to what's the right word, integrate them into the totems of our being, we integrate a power that we've separated from ourselves through our shadows, basically. So once we reintegrate that, we come into a higher power source because we integrate our own power, and basically we overcome these lower natures and we step into a higher power, and then we have more ability to consciously create our reality. The main reason that the law of attraction doesn't work for most people is that they're programmed and they can't get past the programming, and all the affirmations and visualizations in the world aren't gonna do a darn thing if you're not feeling it, bottom line. And the programming makes us not feel it for one reason or another. So this is going to help us to understand what's going on within, how to integrate things, to find our higher power, to manifest our reality according to our wishes. Then all of a sudden your law of attraction works, because it has to work, because everything's energy and everything's connected. So last but not least, we'll get a quick angel message, and then we'll move on. Yeah, I always pull for the collective, and you take what resonates with you personally, Pam. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. And we got Bethany. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as massage, sea salt, and pedicure. So what's behind the program? What do they really want from us? They want our energy. And they steal our energy through the programming, getting us emotionally unraveled through what we see in the news, what we see with each other, what we see with other people that are programmed. So how do we counter that? Besides doing the heartbreak coherence, take good care of yourself, take care of your energy, take care of your body, take care of your mind. Stay grounded, keep your shield strong so they can't siphon your energies. The less you react, the less the darker forces can steal your energies. And that seems like a really, really good message to end on. Yeah. All right. So I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. And thank you for adding this. Thank you so much. And this is the one I wanted to flag. But you're welcome. You're tending to your biggest currency. Thank you. What energy flows where attention goes, right? So the media's job is to divert our attention where the cabal wants our attention to go, so that they can do things beyond our attention. But when we're in our heart, we're in the unified field, nothing really gets past us, right? Oh, thank you, Truthway. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for being here, and thank you, everybody. So I think Tuesday's our next event. We're going to do, we're going to channel interdimensional frequencies to shift your, to raise your frequency so that you, so that your higher healing potentials, dormant DNA can awaken and you tap into higher healing abilities. A lot of people are ill for various reasons. A lot of it's chronic, you know, from the food to what we get fed energetically, all the stuff aimed to make us sick, rob us of our power, make us more, apt to conform, basically. So we're gonna, do some frequency work to help you to tap into higher healing abilities. All right, that's what I got for you. Love you guys. Have a beautiful Sunday. It's starting to snow out, so we're expecting about I think the storm's going to overachieve. So I think we're going to get about 8 or 9 inches where I live. They're forecasting about 4 inches. So we'll see. Love you guys.